You're back.
I'd like to call this meeting to order, the meeting of the Green Bay Plan Commission for Monday, September 23rd, 2019. First of all, we have a roll call. Timothy Gilbert is excused, our chair. I'm taking his place. My name is Sid Bremer. I'm the vice chair, and I am present. Alder Veronica Corpus-Dennis.
Present.
Commissioner Lisa Hanson.
Present.
Commissioner Jacob Miller.
Present.
Commissioner Randall Petrowski.
Present.
And Commissioner Jerry Wisniewski is also excused and enjoying some sun. I'm jealous. Approval of the agenda. May I have a motion, please, to approve the agenda for this meeting of September 23rd?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Let's see, we don't need to record on the vote, do we, for that? Any opposed? Okay, the agenda is approved, and we need a motion as well to approve the minutes from the August 12, 2019 meeting of the Plan Commission.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Okay, to the regular business, the first item is consideration with possible action regarding the late communication from Alder Andy Mickelson, District 3. Am I looking at the wrong thing?
You
Forgive
said
me.
August 12th, and I was like,
I was reading my directions, and I just went on to the agenda from September 23rd. So this, I would like to note, is the December 16, 2019 meeting of the Green Bay Plan Commission, not the September 23rd meeting. Can I blame it on my laryngitis? Okay, we'll blame it on the laryngitis. Then the first matter of business is consideration with possible action on the request to rezone 2200 Nicolay Drive, tax parcel 21-274-2 from general commercial to varied density residential, submitted by David J. Meissner, Mao and Associates, on behalf of TSAGB LLC, property owner. In addition, the Department of Community and Economic Development is recommending that the parcel located at 2100 Nicolay Drive also be rezoned from general commercial C1 to varied density residential. And I see we have our staff member, Paul, whose last name just went out of my head along with everything else, ready to present. Paul Newmeyer.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Chair.
Present for us, you bet.
Yeah, so this is a two-part request. This is a rezoning for 2200 Nicolay Drive. That's this vacant piece right here. So this is Nicolay Drive, kind of running north-south at the T intersection with East Shore Drive. So the initial request was a 2200 block, this vacant piece. We also included this second piece here, which is a 13-acre piece, which has similar zoning issues that I'll go into in a little bit. The existing zoning is C1, general commercial, not far from the sanctuary. UWGB is just to the north. Residential uses to the east, as well as along East Shore Drive. The comprehensive plan recommends medium to high density residential here. So that kind of fits some of the existing uses that are here. This 13-acre piece is called The Shores. It's an apartment complex built in the early 1990s. It was built under the old first business zoning. At that time, B1 allowed multifamily to be built into that district. In 2006, we updated our zoning code. We took apartments out of the commercial districts and we left them in the very density residential districts. So that's the reason why those exist currently. The vacant area has that C1 zoning, so in order for them to build on that, they need to have that property rezoned. So this is a similar request, zoning those commercial areas, C1 to varied density residential R3. So we notified affected property owners. You kind of see the boundary of the notice area. We received a couple calls, but no objections to this request. There is one late communication from a property owner that is attached within the agenda as well.
Okay. Questions for the staff? Paul, have you all addressed the questions that were raised in Beth Strauss's a letter to us about traffic, about the need for, the impact on wildlife, and about the impact on property values?
We did not know. That came in just this morning. I didn't have a chance to respond. It was also sent to the alderperson of the district as well. Some of those issues may be beyond the Plan Commission's scope a little bit, certainly the traffic issue. I think there's always been kind of a concern about this T intersection here and the traffic and people being able to maneuver through there. That's ultimately a traffic commission issue, so I will respond tomorrow with that response.
Okay. I would note that an increase in traffic in that area might be enough to finally bump us over to having some kind of control at that
Sure.
intersection.
Yeah.
It can be very dangerous. As to property values, do you know if there is a general understanding such as Beth Strauss's letter suggests that when you have a lot of multifamily going in close to other single-family areas, it has an adverse impact on the single-family areas?
I think those are difficult questions for us to answer because those are more market-related, so there's not a direct cause relationship here necessarily, so really it's dependent on the market. There are existing units that have been there for the past 25-plus years already, so I don't know if there's a huge increase in that effect.
And the other concern was with impact on wildlife, and I would note, I think there's a running fence along there between the wildlife sanctuary and what is currently a green space.
Right.
And the only problem, I think, is with turkeys who can fly very well, thank you. But there's not an opening there as there is further down near Dan's Avenue, which would make a major problem for wildlife crossing.
Sure.
Any other questions? Does anybody here want to hear from the applicant? Does anybody in the audience wish to speak? Good.
I'm Steve with.
And may we have a motion then to open the floor?
Motion open the floor.
Second, Lisa. Thank you, Commissioner. Hanson is motioning to open the floor, seconded by Commissioner Corpus Dax. All those in favor?
Aye.
And any opposed? Okay, sir, please come forward if you would stand at the podium there and give us your name and your address, please.
Yes, I'm Steve Beta with Mauer Associates, 400 Security Boulevard, representing tuning companies formerly owned the property. That's who manages the property. That's who the initials are. It's just a different LLC that they have. But anyway, this piece has been here for a long time, vacant. They tried to sell it as commercial and do other things with it, but just hasn't really ever come to me. There's a large power line easement that crosses the middle of this that you don't see from here. They have the ability to do a few more 8-unit buildings, so it's not as useful, I'll say, as you may think it is. There's the ability to do a little bit more with it, but not a whole lot more with it. But just if you had any questions for me, we did some layouts on it for tunings, and obviously they're looking to rezone and just fill it out so they can use up the rest of that vacant land. All they've been doing it for 25 years is mowing it, so they want to make use of it.
So currently, there are 11 8-unit buildings?
I haven't
Each one of
counted them, but
those
you're pretty-
rectangles is an 8-unit building?
You're pretty close, yeah.
Yeah. And can you tell us how many units are expected in the new development?
The new
and how
piece
many-
would have, those are not 8-unit buildings, I believe those are actually 12-unit buildings that
Oh,
you're looking
okay.
at. So they're considerably bigger
Mhm.
than what the 8-unit, so 24 more units, maybe 30 if we went to a different style building, but that would be about it, that could go in there.
And currently, how many units in those 12-unit buildings? Oh, you can
I
guess
don't
that,
know
right?
for sure, I never checked
If it's
the
12 by
numbers on
11,
that.
it's over 100. Okay, thank you. Any other questions from the commission? Does anybody else wish to speak?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Then we'll entertain a motion to close the
Motion to close. Second.
Commissioner Hanson has moved to close the door, seconded by Commissioner Corpus Dax. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, any discussion by the commissioners?
I move to approve the recommendation.
And a second? Second, motion from Commissioner Petrowski, a second from Commissioner Corpus Dax. Your voices do sound good. I've been listening to our chair confuse the two of you all these times, and I didn't realize. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yeah, I think we have to vote. We have to vote.
Oh, we have to do real voting this time, which means it gets saved for the record.
Passed unanimously.
Thank you very much. And Paul, will you be making sure that Ms. Strauss gets a response on her question as to where she can find the minutes?
Sure, I'll provide some guidance where I can, sure.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Then our next order of business, and that the one we just completed, was item number ZP 1931. This is item number ZP 1932. Consideration with possible action on a request to authorize a conditional use permit, that is a CUP, to establish a live-work use within a low-density residential district at 900 South Jackson Street, submitted by Ace Champion petitioner. And Mr. Newmeyer again.
Thank you, Mrs. Chair. This is a request for a conditional use permit at 900 South Jackson. The property is southwest corner of Polier and Jackson. It's highlighted in red. An area, it's the Astor Historic District. And there's several single-family homes in the area. It has a low-density residential zoning for the majority of the neighborhood. And the comprehensive plan recommends low-density residential. With this use, live-work units are allowed by a conditional use permit. That's why you have the request before you. The property does have a commercial past to it. It has been used as a commercial kitchen in the past for various baking operations, I guess I'll call them, catering operations. This is the property here at the southwest corner. Previously, it had that storefront use here. It has a commercial kitchen in it. So this request will allow the applicant to reuse the commercial kitchen on the first floor. His wife, as a masseuse, would use that, actually, I think, on the front end of the building, and then they would live above. There's 2 units above, there's 2 existing units above, and they would reside above, so that's the live-work unit here. So we have notified affected property owners. We have received a few calls. There was some concern about parking in the area. There are 4 spots, I believe, that are located kind of around the back side of the building here. There's some limited on-street or restricted parking, I believe, on Polier as well as South Jackson.
Restricted in what way?
Limited time, limited duration.
Okay, and do you happen to know for how many minutes?
I think it's only maybe, might be 15 minutes to a half hour or something to that
Yeah.
effect. It's really a drop-off pickup situation. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So, we did, again, receive a few calls and notified the affected property owners, but we are recommending approval of the request, subject to all the other requirements typically found in the municipal code.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Newmeyer? Does anybody wish to hear from the commissioner?
Move to open the floor.
Okay, and a
Second.
second? Commissioner Hanson moves to open the floor. Commissioner Petrosky has seconded that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And the floor is open. Anybody who wishes to is welcome to speak. And if you would be so kind as to introduce yourself and provide your address.
Yes. Well, my name is Ace Champion, and this is my wife, Rachel Champion. We both currently reside in De Pere, 1200 South.
1020 B.
1020 B, so I'm getting the 2 mixed up. In the east side of De Pere. So we're looking to move into this 900 South Jackson Street home to both renovate, to have both of our businesses run in there, as well as have the live-in work area. On the right apartment, both me and my wife will reside in the first 2-bedroom, and then the left, my 17 and 19-year-old boys will reside in the other one. As far as Rachel's business, she's a massage therapist, cosmetologist, so she'll be splitting that first half, and then the backside, which is the commercial kitchen, I'll be using. I don't like to call myself a caterer. I'm more of a private chef, so I do most of my cooking in people's homes. I would be using this for a secondary studio. I do have my own cooking show, Cook Like a Champion, Saturdays at 12:30 on CW14. So I'll be taking advantage of that aspect of it, as well as just doing some promotional work and pictures and stuff like that to kind of enhance my work. Right now, we're living in about a 900 square foot apartment, so I think we both outgrown it. So.
Especially with the 2.
Oh yeah. Well, going from a 7-foot by 7-foot kitchen to a 560-foot square foot kitchen is a pretty nice upgrade. So there'll be quite a few renovations that's going to be going down. We'll be redoing the basement. As you see on the outside, all the porches plan to be redone, windows plan to be redone. Just really, I would say at least a $50,000 upgrade, both in and outside of the house.
And I believe you currently also offer cooking lessons?
I do. I offer quite a bit of things. So I teach cooking classes. Once again, I go into homes and I teach at a couple local wineries too as well. I'm a visionary motivational speaker. I have the cooking show, and then I do some occasional recipe development for restaurants, and then what they would call hand talent. So little 30-minute videos. And then even though I have a full production team and a production studio on Packerland, I still do some light production myself. So there's a little office space in the back, which would be perfect for me to do my office work and video voiceovers and stuff like that.
Ms. Champion, I take it that the back side of that first ground works well for your...
Yeah, I will be using the front retail area, and so I will just be putting up a couple subwalls to create a massage room, and then the cosmetology portion will actually be when you enter, where the waiting area will be. And right now I'm on Main Street in De Pere, next to Luna Cafe. I've been there for 5-6 years now. So all of my clientele already know, and they're gonna follow. And as for parking, I just have one client at a time, so the parking wouldn't be much of an issue for the parking space that we do have to make it.
I admit I was more concerned about the 15-minute cooking classes.
Oh, no, I never, yeah, you wouldn't learn much with that. I don't think I'm that good. No, I don't do any on-site catering will be done. No on-site cooking classes will be done.
Oh, okay.
Everything is either in someone's home or, like I said, at a winery. I do some corporate team building where they have me bring in my kind of traveling kitchen, should I say, and then I just have cooking classes on site. And then if I can note too, by default, we're already pretty heavily involved in the community. Between the both of us, we probably do about 15 charities each year, and actually Howe Community Clinic is one of the charities that I donate fiercely to. I'll actually be participating next month to do their annual dinner, teaching some of the staff how to make some authentic, red beans and rice, some things that are still tasty, but very, very reasonably priced for the community too as well. And that's gonna continue. It just by far happened to be in the neighborhood, so it worked out good.
Any other questions from petitioners? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else here who would like to speak on this issue? Yes. And if you would use the podium again and state your name and your address.
My name is Joe Tyson. I live at 839 South Jackson. Green Branch is kitty corner from the property. And my only questions were just the parking, so if you're having just one client at a time, so obviously there's street parking for like, the signs are 15 minutes. That's what they are. So they would park in the back there?
Yes, because
The
we
massage therapy's going to go on
And
for
if you
15
would
minutes.
direct your questions, I'm
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
to the commission. It seems kind of odd when we've got people sitting
Okay.
there, but yes.
Okay. So, yeah, my concern was just the parking, because street parking for 15 minutes, if you're having massage, that's not long enough. So parking will be, I guess, in the back then?
Yeah. And that was my understanding from Ms. Champion, too. Yes.
And then the catering will not, it's not like a catering business, it's catering, everything, like, what was there in the past, it was people off the street would come in and buy, it was a bakery, okay? So I guess that's not what's gonna happen now, it's all gonna be off-site for the food and things like that, is that correct?
And I would ask for clarification from the champions.
That
Mr.
is
Grant.
correct.
Yes.
That is correct.
Those are my only questions.
Wonderful. Thank you for coming in to raise this. Any other questions? Anybody else who would like to speak on this issue? Okay, we have a motion to close the floor there.
Motion to close? Second.
Motion to close from Commissioner Hanson, with a second from Commissioner Corbin Staggs. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Floor is now closed. Are there any comments or concerns to be raised by members of the Plan Commission?
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion to approve from Commissioner Hanson, second from Commissioner Petrowski. We need to vote again on our tablets, if you would do so.
honestly.
Okay. I should note, or let me ask our director here, what is the next meeting? Tomorrow. So will
Correct.
these items be on the agenda for
So-
the next meeting of the Common Council?
I am working on that with our clerk to amend the agenda, so as long as we get done here, plenty of time to
Looks like we might.
post notice. Yeah, unless you go off on a tangent for the next 3 hours. Yes, I just, appreciate that, taking the time to meet today. I think just, given the schedule over the holidays, we want to make sure these things need 2 readings, so we get 1 reading out of the way tomorrow. As soon as this is done, we'll go down and work with the clerk to get this amended, so it'll have its first reading at council tomorrow.
Our other petitioner has left, but let me let the champions know you probably want to be at that meeting.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
What time?
And at
6 PM
At
at council
6
chambers,
p.m.
2nd floor.
And we wish you well, and we're ready to move on to the informational item and the director's report.
Sure. So again, thank you for taking the time out to have this special meeting this afternoon. Appreciate it. We try and work with businesses when there's time-sensitive things to get things moving, so appreciate taking the time to do this here. With that, at the council meeting on the 3rd, we had 2nd readings for zoning ordinance, the 1800 block of South Norwood, for R1 to C2. That went through. Also, the PUD for South Huron Road, changing that from RR to C2, was approved. And then also zoning property at Frank Street from R1 to OR, those all went through. And then the CUP for property on Hubbard was also approved. So everything went through the court.
Good. Thank you. And I note that the date of our next meeting is Monday, December 23rd.
Yes, there's going to be a change to that since there is no planned meetings. It looks like the first council meeting of 2020 will be January 14th. Really don't have any pending items right now at this time. So tentatively, we're going to schedule it for Monday, January 13th, which would be the regular schedule. But if we don't have enough items, that may get pushed back to the end of the month. There will be no, we'll send out a formal cancellation. It does not look like we'll have a meeting later this year.
Okay, so January
January 13th, the
13th.
anticipated next
for the
meeting.
anticipated next meeting. And is it regularly the second Monday?
Second and fourth.
Second and fourth.
Second and fourth, thank you. I was just planning ahead
Yep.
for the next year, so. Any other business from anybody? Then a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Thank you, Commissioner Hanson, and a second.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Petrowski. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? If you are, you can stay in your place while the rest of us leave. Thank you very much.